Now that we went over the tools for the components, place component and model in place, we're going to go back now and look at the actual kitchen. All these components in the bottom are straight from the library, Revit's library, and then the countertop, that one and this one are model in place components. So I'm going to give you the sizes that you need in order to make this cabinet or these kitchen cabinets fit. So starting here at the bottom, well, over here with the refrigerator, this one is a 35 by 32 left hand. Then we have 18-inch base cabinet, single door and drawer. Then we have a range, 30 by 26. A 15-inch base cabinet. Then here in the corner we have fillers. This one and this one. That's a base cabinet filler for each one of these, just to close off the corner. Then we have a 12-inch. Then a 30-inch base. This one's a 36-inch double door sink unit. When I brought in the double sink component from Revit, the default was a 42-inch by 21. That one's a little too big, so what I did was I duplicated and created my own, a 36-inch wide double sink, so it can fit better in our kitchen. Then we have a dishwasher, 24 by 24. And finally we have a 15-inch base. In the island, in the kitchen island, each one of these is a 36-inch. That one and this one. And then for your assignment, you can do pretty much whatever you want for the base cabinets and the appliances. Just make it look something like what we have in our assignment handout. Same thing with the countertops. You can create whatever shape you want. In this case, I have a little overhang shape, so I can have some seats, some bar stools or something sitting here in the front of that bar. And then under the wall cabinets, I'll give you the sizes now. This one is an 18-inch. This one's a 30-inch, and this one I created a duplicate and adjusted the size because I needed a shorter one. I didn't need a full height one. And then you can, add in a microwave or a vent hood right here. This one is a 30-inch. Then I have some filler panels to close off the corners. 18-inch, 36-inch, and the last one is also a 36-inch. Now notice that I have a crown molding on top of the wall cabinets. You see that right there? That's a sweep, like the model in place sweeps that I was showing you in the previous videos. So I'm going to show you in a little bit how to do that one. And then we have our sink, our countertop with a cutout in the countertop so it doesn't cover up the sink bowls. Alright, so let's take a look at what we will need to do to make that work. So here I have all the components in place, and now I'm gonna show you how to do the countertops really quick. Okay, so in plan view, we're gonna go to component, model in place, and we're gonna choose casework category and call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it kitchen counter 1. Okay, so the tool that I'm going to use is the extrusion, and I'm going to use rectangle. Notice that in floor plan view, the default work plane is the floor level. Okay, so whatever counter extrusion I do, I need to tell it what is my heights from the floor level. So the bottom of my countertop is going to be 2 foot 10, and the top of my countertop will be at 3 feet from the floor. Apply. And then I'm going to choose a material. I don't remember if I have something in here. I think I do. Kitchen counter. I already created one. Okay, so that's going to be the material assigned to that countertop. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch in by line or by rectangle, however you want to do it, the countertop. So I'm going to have one shape here. I'm going to skip around the range and continue my line work on this side. I'm just going to go all the way around so I can cover all my component base cabinets and then finish. Okay, so I have this going on right there. And I told the heights, the bottom of the counter 210 and the top 3 feet. So I hit OK. And then I finish my model. And this is what we have. Let me go to, I'm in the consistent colors or shaded view, whichever you want to use. So now I have my countertop. Now it's one component, but because the way I drew it with that gap in between so I can provide for the stove range. But I forgot to do something right here. Look at that. That component was continuous all the way through the sink. So now I can't see my sink bowl. It's covered up. No problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here, select my component, edit in place, select my component again, and then I want to edit the extrusion. Here I'm going to create another hole cutout. It doesn't have to be exact, just somewhere around there. So notice how it looks. I have that. I've got my perimeter boundary, and then I've got that boundary, this one, that's going to provide the cutout hole for my extrusion. I hit OK, and then finish my model. And notice now that I can see my sink the way it's supposed to be, with a cutout around the sink bowls. Okay, so that's the countertop. Same thing in the kitchen island. I'm going to create a new extrusion, new component model in place. Again, it's going to ask me which category. I'm going to say casework, and I'm going to call this kitchen counter 2. Alright, so it's going to be an extrusion. And again, the working plane is the floor. And this time I'm just going to create a rectangle from here to here. That's my starting point. But then I want a curved edge on this side. So I'm just going to do something like this. And then erase that line so I can have a closed loop right there. I got my extrusion heights set correct, and my kitchen material counter. I hit OK, finish my model, and now I have my kitchen island countertop. But I want to create a sweep around the perimeter of my countertop because I don't want a flat edge. I want to create a custom shape edge. So let's look at that one. I'm going to select this component, edit in place, and I say I'm going to go to my Create tab, and I'm going to create a sweep. And here I'm going to pick my path. So I select the edges that form the edges of my countertop. Make sure it's a closed loop. Well, it does not have to be a closed loop, but in this example, it's a kitchen countertop. I want the edge to go all the way around. Okay, so once I pick my path, notice that I have this symbol over here. That's the working plane where we're going to create the profile. So once I have my path set, I need to finish my path. And then I'm going to just rotate this to this side so I can see right here. And then instead of selecting a predefined profile, I'm going to edit profile. In other words, I'm going to sketch a profile. So I get my ribbon changed to sketch mode, and I'm just going to draw something, an edge, from here to here, and I'll probably go out 1 inch, and then over here I'll just go out a little bit, and I'm just going to create a weird shape from here to here, like that, and then in this direction, this way. Okay, so I'm going to create an edge shape that looks like that. Oops, got lost. There we go. I'm going to show the working plane so you can see that profile is going to be drawn in that direction, in that working plane. So I'm going to turn that off. Once I have a closed loop for my profile, and the profile does need to be a closed loop, then I hit, well, before I hit finish, I want to make sure I assign a material. I'm going to use the same kitchen counter, make sure it's listed on there, and then say OK, and then OK one more time, and it created my shape for my sweep. So now I have a custom shape edge for my countertop. Now we'll do the same thing. Well, let me finish that sweep. That one's done. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for this countertop. So I need to select that component, edit in place. I'm going to create a sweep. I'm going to pick my path, and I'm going to pick this edge, this one, and that one. But I'm not going to create a closed loop because I only want that edge to be along those 3 edges. Okay. So once I have that, I finish my path. I'm going to edit the profile or create a new one, and I'm just going to draw something. So from here to here, and then come out about 1 inch, and then over here a little bit, create a shape from here to here that way, and then to here this way. Okay, so I got my profile, hit OK, and then OK, and I have a sweep only on those 3 sides. So now it looks like that. And you would do the same thing for this edge right here. Okay, so let's look at the kitchen counters or wall cabinets. And I'm going to create a crown molding on top of that. Oh, before I forget, I need to finish the model so I can finish this one. There we go. Okay. I'm going to add a crown molding on the top. So I'm going to go to my component, model in place. It's also casework. And I'm going to call it crown mold. Okay. And it's going to be a sweep. I'm going to pick my path. I'm going to pick this edge, that edge, over here, and that one. Notice that I have a big gap in between. It's okay because I'm going to use my trimmed corner so I can close those gaps from here to here. Let me turn this on so we can see it. See that gap? So from here to there, and that one is already close. So that's going to be my path. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And go back to thin lines, and I finish my path. And here I'm not going to draw a custom shape. I'm going to choose one from the list, but I'm going to load one from the library that's not on my list. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to casework, and no, I'm not going to casework. I'm going to profile. Scroll down where it says profiles, and then go to finish carpentry. And then here we have different profiles, as you can see. And I'm going to look for a crown molding. We got several here. So I'm just going to choose one. That one. Doesn't matter, just choose one. I'm going to say that one. And it brings it into my list. Once it finishes downloading, just look for it in here. Oops. If you're blank, just click on this one where it says select profile, and then it becomes active. So I'm going to look for my crown, this one, crown 4, 2.5 inch. So I select the profile that I want, and notice that that profile is set right here. Now you have to look very carefully to see in which direction that profile is going. So let me show yeah, it's right there. Show the working plane. The working plane is not showing, but it's right here. But I don't want my crown molding to be in that direction. I want to flip to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I need to make sure that that's selected. I picked it so I can get my options right here. I'm going to flip it to the other side so that when I extrude it, it's going to extrude along the outside face of that path. Now you got some couple of other options over here. Let me go over that. The X direction, we got XY coordinates, and that's what these numbers are for, X and Y. So let's say I wanted to go up or down with this profile. I can say go down -1 inch, and I hit apply, and it moved my profile down 1 inch from the start point, which was right here. Notice that's the insertion point. So if I say 0, it moves it back up to its origin. You can do it here in the options bar, or you can do it right here. So -1.5 inch, or this one it went up. Did I do -1.5 inch? There we go. -1.5 moves it down. Or you go back to 0. Or you can move it in the X coordinate direction. Let's say I want to offset it for some reason 1/2 inch. Or I can go in the opposite direction, a -1/2 inch, and it moves it there from the origin. But I want it back there in the origin, and I want it in that orientation on the outside face of my path. So once that's set, I just hit apply, and I hit OK, and it extrudes my sweep. I'm going to finish my model, and now I have my crown molding over the cabinets. Now notice the different color. It's because I didn't assign a material. In fact, whatever the last material I used before, it attached that same one. So I'm going to go back in here, edit in place, select my sweep, and then change the material. And I think I was using paint white. That's one I created. So if you don't have it, just create a new material, select it, and that's matching the same color as my wall cabinets. And that's how you would do the custom shapes in the kitchen. Okay, so your assignment is to finish doing all of the components. Again, go back over here. All the ones highlighted in yellow on the first floor and on the second floor. And for assignment 3, make sure you include the stair along with the other components. And when you get to the bathroom, that's going to be custom shapes as well for the tub and for the shower. So just get creative. It doesn't have to be anything exact. Just come up with something that kind of looks cool. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to go to my second floor. And I started mine. So what I did is I created a tub. That was a freestanding tub component. And then I created an extrusion around it, and I cut a hole around it so I can see my tub. And then I did a shower over here. This was an extrusion as well. And if I edit that model, I got one shape in the bottom, and then I did another shape extrusion for my glass wall, and I attached a glass material to it so it can look transparent. And then you can just keep on adding as much detail as you want. Obviously I didn't show a door, but there would have to be a glass door somewhere in here so you can get into the shower. And then you would finish, the rest of the fixtures. For extra credit, if you want to get 10 extra points for your assignment, you can go in here and start adding some furniture. I'm going to go to my second floor, for example, and I'm going to insert some families for furniture. Let's see, where would they be? Right here under furniture. And then we have beds, seatings, tables, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's see. So we got some different kind of beds. So let me put that bed in here. I'm going to load that in, and then I'm going to go back to furniture. I don't know, it looks like there's a TV stand. Let me load those in. Let's see, what else does it have? Under furniture, seating, we have a bunch of chairs, and we also have tables. We have some desks, and then we got some other kind of tables. So I'm just going to bring that one in just as an example. And what I want you to do is just place them. Go to components, and then find all those components we just inserted. So again, it's alphabetized, so I'm going to go to the B for beds, and in this case we have different sizes for the bed. I'm going to put a king size bed in here, and by using my space bar I can rotate it. So I don't know, I'm going to put my bed right there, and if I look at it in 3D, there's my bed. And let's see, what else can we do? If I wanted to have a desk in here for whatever reason, I can just place it somewhere in here, and then just put it right there. And then I add some chairs, maybe a nightstand, I don't know, whatever you want to add for more furniture, just to make it more interesting in there. Go ahead and do that, and you'll get 10 extra points for your assignment.